What's going on, everybody? I hope you are all very well. It is March 4th, 2025. Thanks to those of you who caught my error in the previous video. It is not 2023, clearly, but it has occurred to me that it's been a long time since I've done a what's sold video. None of it matters unless the items sell at the end of the day, right? So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to show you 15 of the most interesting items that I've sold in the month of February. We'll talk some details. My cost of goods is way too low for the growth that I expect for this year. I spent just over $1,000. It's a shorter month, but I'm going to talk about what I think my issue is towards the beginning of the what solds here in just a second. But that's what we're going to do. We'll keep it simple. Let's talk about 15 items I sold in the month of February 2025, and we'll take it from there. Okay, here's what February looks like in a nutshell. If you guys have been listening to me for a long time, I've been talking about being in growth mode, but I've said this before. Like, I feel like every day, every month, every year is Groundhog Day, and that's because I'm not really growing at all. What I'm doing is maintaining, and that's a problem. That's why I'm telling myself, you're gonna have to work more, you're going to have to source more if you want your numbers to change. They're always very consistent. And I know there's a lot of people out there that would look at that consistency and say, boy, I wish I had that. But I'm not growing. And it's starting to annoy me because I want to make more. I want to sell more. So let's take a look at what February looks like. It's better than it was last year by obviously 10, 12% on my net. But every month seems kind of like the same. There's not really a ton of growth. So if I'm going to grow, I've got to source more. I have to be out more. I'm going to have to generally just work more. And then hopefully that turns into more sales, which is why my macro goal is 3,000 active listings. Anyway, $6,300 net, 175 items sold. My average sales price up from the same time last year. We're going to take a look at 15 items that I sold this month. And we're going to start with a mistake that I made, because I priced this guy a little bit too low. When I was going to put in my prices, I like to price things at the price they're at and then run a 50% off sale. New people ask me all the time why I run the 50% off sale. It's just I'm just copying somebody that used to do it a long time ago before I was like really selling heavily on eBay, and I've never changed it. I don't think that gives me a competitive advantage at all. But I put $100 in there and that dropped it down to 50. I was supposed to put 200 in there. I screwed that up, and this guy sold in a day. So you saw me source this in store if you've been following me for a length of time. This was maybe a couple of months ago. Paid $10 for it, sold it for 50, of course, in one day, and somebody was very happy. As far as the box that these go in, if you look at this blow mold, it's about the same size as like a golf bag. I use the same box, the same size box for both of them. It's a Starbucks box. I don't know if they keep their coffees in there or their syrups, but it's about 16 by 12 by 13. Those are the approximate dimensions. They're relatively heavy duty, so it doesn't take much. I don't like wrap these things in a million like miles of bubble wrap if we're talking about both blow molds and golf bags, and they almost always get there. I shouldn't even say almost. Every single one that I've shipped has gotten there in one piece. Lots of happy buyers. Minimal bubble wrap, but those boxes are important, and I stack them like one, two, or three, depending on, of course, the size. So $50. I was supposed to price it at $100. I'm annoyed with myself, but everybody makes mistakes. So these will sell year round. This is one of the items that if I saw one in March, I'd buy it. If I saw one in April, I'd buy it, because they do sell year round. This one sold in the day because the price was right. And of course the buyer was elated with their feedback. So anyway, I'm moving off of that one. Next is a pair of Altra, what are they calling this one? Lone Peak Zero Drop. Can you see the mistake that I made in the title? Also notice I'm trying to take pictures indoors a little bit more. My house is a lot brighter because it used to be the walls used to be very dark gray. It was just kind of glum, if you ask me. So I've painted, it's brighter in there, and the pictures come out even though the green isn't really that great. Let me take you through some of the pictures just so that you can see. I paid up for these. I paid $15 for them at a thrift store, not a Goodwill, and they sold in 11 days. So it was a pretty fast sale, size 13. and let me show you a picture of the soles. They were in great shape. So running the comps, I knew I could get at least $60 for them. They're in great shape. Altra, I don't know if it's a sleeper brand or not. Everybody, it just depends on what you find in your area. They do turn up in my area. They look like, the logo looks like Avia. So I think it's easy to mistake this shoe for a shoe that's like really lower value, lower quality, and it gets passed up a lot. So make sure you're looking a little bit closer when you see the logo. Is it on here? You don't really get to see a good shot of their logos, but if you know what I'm talking about, like comparing the two, they do kind of look similar, like from a distance. Something to keep in mind because you might be passing them up. Anyway, 65 on that, good sale. All right, next thing here, you guys know women's clothing is not my wheelhouse. I basically hate it because it's hard for me to learn. So I listed this Gunne Sax dress that I found, and I got this one on camera in a store as well for $300, but I listed it on April 30th of 2024. So I figured, it was about time to get this sold. So somebody came in, and it was the first, I think, and only offer that I received on it that was even remotely reasonable, and I took $150 for it. You tell me if you think that offer was too low. Let me take you through some of the pictures. It's a beautiful dress. I don't know. I don't know this stuff. It's just not something that is really my thing. Gunne Sax by Jessica. Let me show you how I laid it out on the deck as well. These are the measurements that I took. All of this I'm just winging because I'm not a dress seller. So I thought I'm going to take the $150. It's February. My sales are terrible. I'll take the $150. What do you think? Do you think this was priced too low? I know there's some seasoned dress sellers out there that may have held out, or maybe Poshmark was the better marketplace. I don't know. I just, $300, listed it in April. It was time to get the thing off the books as far as I'm concerned. So $150. It only cost me $6. It was regular price off of a rack. I think at a Goodwill. Next thing here, new to me brand, Joji and Co. I would not just look at this bag again. It's purses, although one of the categories that I'm trying to get better in general is like women's handbags, women's purses, because it's not as scary to me as dresses with sizes and shapes and all the nonsense that comes with selling dresses. But I wouldn't readily recognize this. This is one where I have to grab it and I have to look it up because it looks pretty simple. And there's lots of bags that are like similar quality. This, for whatever reason, was a high quality brand. So I listed it at $175. I did go to their website to do a little bit of research beforehand just to kind of familiarize myself with the brand and what they were all about. Big in the knitting in the industry, I think, is what I started to notice as I was doing a little bit of research. This bag looks like it was a sold out bag. So I listed it for $175. I got an offer of $150. I only paid $6 and it did sell in 1 day. So lots of fast sellers in this video for you folks. I'll take you through the pictures again. This was in great shape inside and out, and that's what the interior looked like. Really pretty bag. I think this was a repeat buyer for me, so if you are out there in internet land, thank you very much. I really appreciate it, and I know you loved it because you've been leaving me all the positive feedback. So looks like a win on both ends. Joji and Co. Did I give you a picture of maybe the logo a little bit closer? Right there. Take a look at that. So if you've never seen it, put that one on your list. Good sale, $150. Next thing here, golf is in. I'm not even gonna say. I was gonna say golf is in full swing. It's ridiculous because it sounds so funny. But golf, I'm ramping up golf because we're in March and you guys know the drill. It's going to be, full force here. Although golf is another evergreen niche, there's certain things you can pick up, year round, and you'll still get, a decent amount of volume, decent amount of sales. These pictures are terrible as far as what I would like my standards to be. There's shadows everywhere, but they were just good enough to make the sale. This is a set of TaylorMade Rocket Balls irons. This is the second set I've sold. The first set I sold for around, I think, $200 to $300. This one I had listed for $200 and I took an offer of $140. All of the grips were in great shape. They are steel shafts, and there's my pictures are they're just okay. I wiped the clubs down a little bit, very low maintenance. I just stack a bunch of like 7x7x7 size boxes, bubble wrap the thing to the best of my ability, and I get it out the door, and that always works as well. So TaylorMade Rocket Balls, yeah, bolo item. Keep your eye out for it. If you're not afraid to ship, clubs. It's not always the easiest thing to do. And I know there's some people out there that that might be too heavy. It might just be too large. You might not have a way to transport it. I understand all those things, but if you're skipping it because you think it's going to be hard to ship, but you've got the resources, strength, whatever it is, do it. Ship golf items. It's a great niche, and one that I'm getting more comfortable at as the years go on because I'm not a golfer. It does put me to sleep when I put it on though, so that's nice. Next thing here, in Oakley, this looks like the kitchen sink backpack. It's a laptop messenger bag. Sometimes if you look at the middle of this bag, it looks kind of red. I don't know how to fix that on my iPhone. It's an exposure thing. So sometimes if I feel like it will affect the person on the other end, I will mention it. Hey, if this looks like it's discolored, it's just my iPhone. It's perfectly black. It's in great shape. It's not faded by the sun or something else. Sometimes I will add that in my description. I don't think it mattered in this case. This was another one that sold in one day. Here are the rest of the shots. It's a great bag. I listed it for $75 and I sold it for $60. This also cost me, I think the regular price $6. Could I have listed this higher? Yes, I could. Very clean on the inside, trying to give the best representation of what each little area looks like. And it even came with, I think this is like a little pencil pouch, which was a nice addition. That was still there with it, but $60 sold quick. Another one that the person left positive feedback. The bag really was in fantastic condition. So could I push it to 100? Sure, maybe. I don't know. Hindsight is always 20/20. But Oakley, if you find an Oakley kitchen sink backpack, same thing, $75, $100 if it's even more pre-owned. If it's brand new, you're going higher than that. So great product, always in demand, sold really quickly, and we'll move on here. Okay, so this is the Coach item that I was talking about in my previous video. So I had a legacy, what I think is a legacy Devon that I just listed for $150. This is the Coach, this is a 9930 that sold for $125. I would like to know, for those of you that sell bags like this, and you're maybe more familiar with what's going on with vintage Coach right now, if I undersold this, because I've seen them sell in the 300 range pre-owned, same style, 9930, turn lock, black, and this was in, I think, better condition than I gave it credit for price-wise, so maybe I could have pushed this a little bit higher, but it is, and you can see right to the bottom of that picture, 9930 was the number, but the pictures came out really nice, so I'm like sort of satisfied at least with being able to shoot on the inside when the weather is inclement outside. So that's been great, but there's no replacing, if you will, taking pictures outside. I think the difference is, to me, it makes a world of difference, especially if you want to price on the higher side. Shooting outdoors when it's overcast, always the best. But these turned out pretty good. But did I underprice it? $125. I paid $6. It sold in one day. Next thing here, Stetson. I had this. This was left over from a buy maybe a year ago. I bought out a store of, I think, either 30, like around 30 of these hats, and I paid $10 for each one. And they would sell in like the $80 to $100 range. This might have been a return that I forgot to relist or something like that. But Stetson, Bozeman, this was like I think this came from Huckberry originally, if I remember correctly. But I did take a low offer on this one. I took $60. Again, only $10. It did sell in 5 days. So, you can always hold out for more, and I do that more often than not. But my January and my February, trust me, I am feeling it financially because it's just so much slower than I had hoped. So get back to the growth argument, but this Bozeman hat would have definitely sold between $80 and $100 had I waited long enough. But I'll take the $60. I've been sitting on this for over a year, and I found it basically again on accident. So I think it was a return that somebody returned. I just forgot about. Next thing here, this is the number one category I'm trying to grow in 2025. Decorative pottery, like art, statues, that type of thing. That's the category I want to get better in. More so even than like the handbag area. I think there's an area of opportunity for me in this regard. This was just a look it up, look at comps on the phone, look at like what this brand or this lady's items sell for on places like Etsy. Marianne Stark. It's just I think it says Danish, so I think she's a Danish artist. 1950s, all the keywords. There are certain art styles in this vase. When looking at comparables, the art is similar. It's not exact, but with the black and the white, could almost use tribal. I didn't use tribal in there, but this sold quick too. So I listed it for $150. I'll show you the rest of the pictures. Look, I only took 4 pictures. There's the third picture, and then there's the fourth. So 5501 is one of the keywords I had in there. And again, had to do the research to find out that this was Marianne Stark, but I sold it for just under 130, and it sold in 2 days. So this was a fast seller, and it's like, boy, I want more of that, like a lot more of that. So I go through the area where these are stocked in all of the stores with a fine-tooth comb these days. I in fact just bought 2 really cool sculptures that I'm going to get to listing here in a little bit. But this is where I believe I have the biggest area of opportunity, and I hope that if you've never seen this, you come across it too. I mean, that's the point of all of this, is to share these things with you, because there's so many things that the stores miss that we all have an opportunity to get to, and I think this is one of them. What did I pay for this? I paid $7.99, $8. So great sale. Next one here, Frank and Eileen. I had this listed for $225. Everybody thought I was crazy for like forever, so I delisted it and then relisted it for $175, and then I finally got an offer of $120, and I jumped on it. I want to know also, if you guys are major clothing sellers or you sell Frank and Eileen frequently, where are we at price-wise with that brand? Are they staying steady? Are the prices coming down? Is inventory catching up? If you have any of these details, let me know in the comments so that all of us can learn. I don't know if 120 is the right price or not, or if it's like fair or not. I thought bringing it down to 175 was fine, because isn't this 300, 350 like MSRP? If it is, I think 175 is fair. I took the 120 and ran with it. It only cost me $5. It took 2 weeks to sell, but again, I had this listed for much longer than that at 225. So I did have to redo the price, and that's something that I probably should do way more often than I currently do. I'm very much list and forget. So, but February was the right month to reassess some of my pricing. So let me know where we're at with Frank and Eileen. Next thing here, when did I list this? I listed this Tovala microwave on August 12th, 2022. So I think it stands to reason that this was priced too high. They were at one point selling pretty quickly in the $200 range. They don't anymore. This is a Wi-Fi oven of some sort. You can I don't know if you can operate it from your phone. I'm not really sure what the major function is of this thing, but it looked like it was brand new. So I listed it used, but made sure that I put that it does appear to have never been used. And it did eventually sell for $200. So I paid either $15 or $20 for it. Shot it on a really pretty day outside, and it finally sold 2-ish years later. I don't know what the current market value is for this, but could I have listed this for $100 and sold it sooner? Probably, but we're playing a game here. We're dancing a little bit. Where can we land, or how long can I wait? So this is one where I just totally forgot about it and sold it for $200. What can I say? All right, next one here. This is another one that surprised me, because I saw an exact comp for around $100, $110 for this. It is a knitting clutch, if you will. Leather. The brand is Thread and Maple. Here are the rest of the pictures. I listed it for, I think, the exact price that I saw the only sold comparable for at $115, but I did take an offer of $100. So I sold it for $100. I paid $6, and it sold in 6 days. So it was a very fast seller. I think this is another one that has the potential to slip through the cracks everywhere when you're out looking. So please pay attention to that logo, Thread and Maple. I can't tell you if it is high value across the brand, all of the styles, all of the lines, but this one I was able to find an exact comp and still sell it for $100. This is a great sale. Very satisfied with that. If that was one that you were unaware of, put it on the list. Next thing here is, this is another one where I held on to it for quite a while. It was a brand new Toastmaster model B1023. There's nothing, I think, really special about this. So I listed it high. I paid 15. I took an offer of 75, and this one sold. This took about 9 months to sell. Like, I don't know that there's anything special to this. Pastry perfect, extra wide slot. There's lots of toasters in the world that are like this. I don't know what makes this one special. I just shot for the stars, waited, and got a pretty decent price at 75 bucks. So that's really all there is to it. When I was looking up comparables, the pre-owned comparables seemed kind of weak, so I just took a chance because it was brand new. So is this a bolo for you? I mean, maybe if you find it brand new and you're getting it for a decent price. Pre-owned though, I don't know if you pump the brakes on it or not. I didn't look at what the current like solds are for pre-owned, so just take everything I'm saying right now with a grain of salt. I just bought it because it was new, priced it high, and eventually did find a buyer. So I'll take it. Next one here, another one that was new to me. I've never seen this brand before. I'm always looking for all clad lately, but Heritage Steel. This is a 316 Ti, which I believe is short for titanium skillet. And this sold fast too. This sold in 1 day. I had this listed for 100 and I took an offer of 75. It only cost me $7.99. Let me show you the logo, HS right there. That's what I looked at. I was like, I should probably look this up, and then maybe I get a better shot. Heritage Steel, 316 Ti, 12-inch. I don't think there are a lot of these on the market, so it might not be one of the easier ones to find. Maybe it's an overseas brand too. I don't know. But this was a great sale, very timely because it came in a month that I'm typically a little bit slower on. Took the pictures inside, even better. $75, Heritage Steel, another one to add to your list, and I'm totally thrilled with that. Sold it in 1 day, fantastic. Last one, I do sell iRobots on occasion. I do always test them to make sure that they function properly. And in most cases, I add video to my listings. So I have video of this showing that it works properly, and it was extremely clean, and they only had it priced at 10 bucks, probably because they didn't want to deal with most of these. I shouldn't say most of them. My guess is, the thought is when they're donated, they're no longer working properly. And so maybe they price them lower because of that. So we're the ones that, get to take advantage of that. And this one worked great. Returned right back to its base like it was supposed to, very clean. And I got full price for it. $150, only paid 10, and it sold in 8 days. And that is 15 items that I sold in February. All right, y'all, that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're gonna go in store in the next video and do a little bit of on-site sourcing. So that's what we have coming up. But I appreciate each and every one of you as always. And if you could do me a favor, if you're not already subscribed, hit that button for me. I am definitely trying to grow my YouTube platform now more so than I have last year. I was looking at last year and it's abysmal the amount of content that I actually put out. So I'm trying to commit to doing a little bit more of that. Hit the subscribe button if you are not already subscribed, if you like this kind of content. But that's all I have for you. Thanks again. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye.